Hey everybody, I am Jess, and we are back with Anime Book Club. As always, it's big spoiler warning. We're going to be talking about the latest episodes of anime that have aired all the way through yesterday. That would be Wednesday, March 10th. So if you are not caught up on your shows until Wednesday, March 10th, just mute us or something when we go through the section that you don't want to be spoiled for. I personally love spoilers, but I'm a weirdo. So let's introduce another weirdo. Hey Erik, how's it going?
Hey. Another week.
Another week. We are barreling down towards the end of the season. We're kind of at episodes like 8, 9, 10, and 11, depending on the show, or further if it's like, the second season or something like that. We're pretty close to the end. Feeling pretty good. Some of the shows are going to end sooner than others. I actually had to look up Titan's season. And you know how they were like 4 weeks ahead? They're doing 16 episodes. So I think it'll end around the same time, or at least this part of it will end around the same time. They may have split it into two sections. A lot of people online think they've split it into two sections because there's just so much more manga content that they're not even going to get to. So who knows?
Maybe that or a movie. But I don't think Titan is going to be ending in like 2 or 3 weeks. It's a lot. There's a lot hanging in the air right now.
There's a lot going on. Yeah, I feel like it would be way super too rushed for it to get through, but who knows. But we got an exciting week, and unfortunately not a very exciting spin the wheel this week. It was a little dull. I should have picked a different show, but we'll get to that at the end.
Yeah, we'll get there.
We'll get there. So Higarashi has spent 3 freaking episodes being like, here's why Sadako is absolutely crazy and sending everybody through loops again.
Yeah, like the last week's episode was another week of kind of like build up to see the confrontation, and I am kind of getting tired of the build up. Like I understand, like I don't think it had to be like a whole episode dedicated to this. But we get to see Satoko being her worst again. Like I saw your slide, and I feel like shouldn't it be reversed though? like it definitely should be reversed. Where Rika's like, oh sorry, my pain is nothing. Sorry, my fault.
See, okay, I don't get it. So like Sadako doesn't like studying, and yet she spent 100 years watching Rika's loops. I don't like studying, but I'm gonna study a whole lot. Like, if you spent 100 years just mastering the curriculum in this school, don't you think you'd be better off than?
Oh my God, she'd be like curing cancer at this point. She'd be the one curing Hinazawa disease. Like, oh my God, save your brother. There's so many other things you can do in your 100 years. Find a cure for your brother. He's still in the freaking basement. Like,
I know. It's ridiculous.
Oh my God. So it's like, so yeah, and her loops are so stupid. It was like, why are you just killing your like she was like, oh, this loop is dead. All right. You said one word to me that like I don't like, so I'm just gonna kill myself and like start over. It was like it was so pointless. So I don't know. It kind of felt like a little bit of a waste, but I guess like right now and I think there has to be at least one more episode of build up because like we haven't seen all the things she's done in those other timelines in order to like sabotage Rika. So we're not even done. It was just kind of like one more thing. It was just announced that Higarashi has more episodes. So like the TV station that airs Higarashi, they confirm that they have episodes all the way up till April, like past April. So it's not done in 2 more. So we have some time.
So hi Nairman, I'm sorry I did not see you before because I just got the Twitch up. Usually I have it on my phone next to me, but I left my phone downstairs because I'm a dummy. But yeah, Higarashi has been interesting. Thank you for not spoiling for us for today's episodes. We generally don't watch the Thursday episodes because we like when people are watching us, we don't know if they've been able to watch the Thursday episodes, so we're not trying to spoil people like kind of prematurely if they just got off work and stuff like that. So
yeah, I tend to watch it right after this.
Yeah, I don't understand why they can't just like communicate with each other. Like, you can go to different schools and be at different places and still be friends. Like
like
But
Satoko
apparently you
literally
can't.
just spent 100 years like not with Fat Rika. I guess other versions like she just spent 100 years studying the time loop, so it's not like she can't go like a day or two without seeing her friend. Like that's what weekends are
I
for.
know.
Like chill out.
I know. It's ridiculous. I don't. The show is getting more ridiculous. I like that we got back to the violence and stuff, but the show is
Yeah,
ridiculous. And the
it
last
is.
3 episodes could have been an episode and a half or less, even. And it's like, I don't know. But
Yeah,
I don't know. Maybe we'll get to storyline again eventually. So that's
eventually.
something, I guess. Heaven's Design Team, however, continues to delight every single week, and I
Yeah,
absolutely love it.
we learned a lot about penguins.
We also
We
learned a lot
learned
about parasites and crayons.
yeah, it's oh my god, Pluto Pluto needs help. Like I don't she makes weird things. Like she makes like these terrible things and it's like it feels like she's the embodiment of yandere girlfriend without actually having any girlfriend like qualities. Like she's not
Yeah.
clinging like the yandere girlfriend, but she's like she's legitimately crazy.
Yeah, no. I mean her stuff is really weird. Parasitic organisms terrify me, which is why if you ever like, you play Pokemon and look at like Parasect and that whole like evolutionary chain, that's terrifying, okay? That's
Oh,
absolutely terrifying. You've got a little bug creature, and it's got a little parasite on it, and then it evolves and it's like, no, there's no bug anymore. There's only parasite. It has taken over its brain, its eyes are clouded over, and it's terrifying. I didn't know about this
I
parasite.
suppose that's what that's what this is. So I didn't even realize I didn't even make that connection. That is what parasite is or parasect.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Parasect. I forget like which one is the evolution, but yeah, Parasect and the evolution there.
Paris is the
But
original one.
Paris and Parasect. Yeah. When Paris evolves to Parasect. Do I have an iron?
Yes.
Yeah, probably in the laundry room.
Okay.
What are you ironing?
Yeah.
They're ironing something over there, and I don't really trust it. Is she
That's
making
dangerous.
perler beads?
Probably.
Your show.
I'll know by the end of the show, so that's
Ah.
suspect. I don't know.
The game show aspect of the episode was nice though. I do like
Yeah.
how into it the main character. I guess he's I don't even remember his name. I know the names of the
Yeah.
planet people of the angels,
He's
but
the
not
angel
him.
guy. He's
Yeah.
the angel guy.
I mean, they're
He's got
all
the wings on
angels.
his back.
They're
Yeah,
all
but
angels,
like he's
but,
got
like,
like wings on his back. He's like
main
the
angel. I don't know.
executive
Secretary.
angel. I don't know. Secretary, yeah.
Main
So,
character. That's
okay,
his name.
the show taught me so much about penguins that so on Monday I actually got to go and do the shark cage dive at the aquarium, and I walked through the aquarium and I was spouting off penguin facts that I learned from Heaven's Design. It's like,
Oh
do you
my
know that they
God.
actually do have full legs under there? They're just tucked up under there for circulation. And I'm like, random penguin facts I learned from Heaven's Design.
They're like, ma'am, how often do you come here?
But yeah, it was a good episode. I liked it. I like the game show. I like the competition. I like the stupid long-legged penguin.
Yeah.
He was so
Yeah.
goofy looking.
I like that the angel that eats was like, I wasn't even like serious about this. I was just like sprouting out whatever was the opposite of his idea. Like I didn't expect to get this far.
I love the soft and fluffy guy that makes the otters and stuff. He's great. Did you get that meme I sent you earlier about the horse guy?
The horse
Where it's
guy.
like evolution. Like, did you really evolve another species? No, it's just another crab, isn't it? Yeah, I really like crabs, and that's what I feel like about the horse guy. Every time it shouldn't be another horse, but it's always another horse.
Yeah.
Always.
I mean, that's his specialty. That's his specialty. Do what you love, man.
I guess. All right. The
Oh,
body
boy.
is dying. Okay, so I loved this episode. So
Oh,
you got in
boy.
this episode, our buddy, our main red blood cell, his buddy had died in the last episode, and he freaked out, like complete mental break, freaked out. And so in this episode, he's like,
Yeah, he's
real
trying to
depressed.
die. He's like,
And he's
just
trying,
end
and then
it,
he starts
please.
leading a revolt. Like all the cells should rebel, and like, okay, power to the proletariat here, I guess. I don't know. Like down with the bourgeoisie. It's like your cells in a body. If you revolt, you'll die too. And this is a little bit different than a job, like a little bit different. But
I understand though. Like they weren't trying to kill him. They were like cause him pain. That way he understands something's wrong. And I don't think that's quite the wrong. I think that's the wrong
I
decision.
well, okay, so like if you've got gout, I guarantee dude's feeling that. I also appreciate that the gout manifests basically like an angel from Evangelion, where it's
Yeah.
floating through the air in some weird geometric shape and like destroying everything. And they're like, where did it come from? What is it? And all of it. It's like third impact. Third impact in the body right now. So
Yeah. And then they were like, "Oh, we've been fighting it this whole time, but it's not actually doing anything right now. Like we're the ones causing the damage." And I'm like, "Oh, okay." So even white blood cell, even she's like kind of morally broken at this point. And so everyone's at their end point. Next episode is actually called Demise. So that might be it. He might be packing it in. It might
yeah,
be,
this is also Cells at Work gave us like a lot of episodes back to back to back. So this is episode 11 and next is 12 and we may be already at the end of the series like early. So
yeah,
we'll just have
like
to like cut that slideshow, but
it might be
yeah,
curtains for this human. It might be curtains.
it may be. It may be. By the way, don't get gout. It's I've never had gout, but yeah, gout primarily a lot of people get it from eating a lot of red meat, like or mom says drinking too much. And not enough veggies, which makes sense. I've heard of people getting it from rich meats, like organ meats and like heavier meats and stuff like that. So you had gout in college? Fascinating. Well, it was terrifying to look at inside of the body. So in this anime.
Yeah.
So everybody out there, please take care of yourselves. Please don't get these numerous conditions that this poor body has gotten itself at work.
Yeah, he has the full gauntlet at this point. He has everything.
It does. All right, I'm sure
All
you
right.
have many opinions about quintuplets.
It's like stop. It's not fair. It's so not fair. Like it's not fair that I mean, I understand at this point that Nino is probably the creator's favorite girl. I understand that. But like if you're gonna set it up where everyone has quote unquote an equal chance, don't just be like, all right, now it's just Nino. It's just Nino. Like, come on, man. You gotta be unbiased about this. But
Oh
she needed
man,
to catch up. She needs to catch
you need
up.
to
So
you need to look
now
at
I
chat.
guess.
You need to look at chat. You're gonna fight. You're gonna fight.
Oh my god. Oh my god. No, she's not. She no.
I knew you were gonna fight.
Miku is without a doubt the best choice. Like Miku has been there from the beginning. She's a perfect fit. Their personalities actually sync well together. Miku is also slightly nerdy. It's just she's not smart. Like she's nerdy. The fact like she loves Western like or she loves like Japanese history and she's really into that. She's just not books. She's not like academically smart. So like they're a perfect fit. Nino is just like forcing it at this point. And I understand Nino is like
Mm,
she's like she has a good heart right now. She has a good heart. Heart's in the right place. But no, she's trying to make up for lost time, and she knew she blew it in season one. So no, I refuse to accept her. I refuse to accept her. I refuse to accept her fans. I'm sorry, I don't accept you. Like,
I knew it. I knew you'd have. I knew you'd have something to say about Nina. Nina got tons of storyline this week. Now she's working with Futaro in the freaking the bake store. Why would Miku ever think that she was going to get that job when her baking was like basically inedible and Nino has been doing this her whole life? Okay, I just
okay, you miss
understand
every
why that
shot
would
you
be.
don't you miss every shot you don't take. And Miku is like, whatever, I'm gonna shoot until I get something. She didn't get the job, but she got a job next door. She's part. But watch Miku gonna be like, yeah, like I'm behind now, but like now I'm gonna be like your next door rival. I'm gonna shut down your business. I don't know the plot, but I'm rooting for that. Whatever.
No, man. Okay, so Nino aside, because this was a very Nino-centric episode, I think that the most logical choice for him is Five Girl, whose name I never remember. That's not Ichika, it's the Itsuki.
That's
Itsuki makes the most
Itsuki, yeah.
logical sense to me,
I mean,
but
she's main girl,
she,
but she's
she's
kind of writing
not
herself
my
out of
choice.
the run.
My choice made a bold choice this week. Quite a bold
Okay,
choice.
that was that. Okay, that was dirty. That was playing dirty, and that was not okay. I feel like she broke the rules of engagement. Like they were having like they all understood that
Oh,
this was a
oh, but
war,
Erik,
but Ishka completely
Erik,
broke the rules of
there's no
engagement, and that
rules
was
in
not okay.
love and war,
No,
Erik. No
no, no.
rules in
She's
love
about to
and
start a
war.
civil war between these sisters, and no, you can't go back after that. I hope he realizes that it's her because Miku would never say that. Miku would never say that,
No,
and I
man.
will be angry at Futaro if he doesn't even
Of
pick
course
up
he's
on it.
not gonna realize it. No,
But no,
he's
he's
a
been
dummy.
getting better.
What
He's
guy? He's a dummy, okay? He's a
he's been
dummy.
getting
The
better.
show is kind of dumb, and he's the dumbest person in it, all right? It's just
Okay, no,
straight up
he's been
what it
getting
is.
better. He's been
I
realizing.
love that she took a heel turn. She's like a wrestler. She made a heel turn, okay?
Oh my
She's a
god!
heel now. I love it. I'm into it.
But that's
The only
so
thing I didn't
dirty,
like about
though.
her, it is, but I love it. The only thing I didn't like about her was the idea that she might have been Rena or whatever, like in the costume. I don't like that. I think that's creepy. Whichever one of them did that, it's creepy. And I don't even care if it's my girl, it's creepy. But this, I'm all about it. All right. This was some crazy soap opera nonsense, and I'm here for it. And it made this show far more interesting. She is going no holds barred. She is now abso-freaking-lutely my number one girl. So
Oh my god, that's what
just,
causes you to be the number. Oh, okay. If she
no,
had
but
dressed up
Ichika
as
was always my
Yotsuba,
number one girl. Ichika was my
I know,
number
I know,
one
I
girl
know.
from like
If she had dressed up as Yotsuba and did it, I wouldn't been mad. Like, because Yotsuba is not in the running at all. Like, we understand Yotsuba
you
is
say
not.
that.
Okay, okay.
Okay.
Even if she comes in late game, we all know it's not Yotsuba. We all know it's not Yotsuba, right? If she had dressed up as Yotsuba and did this, I'd have been like, fine. At least you're not like actively like messing with someone that you know also likes them. But the fact that she did it as Miku, even though she didn't plan it out like that, it wasn't like, oh, I'm going to dress it
Mhm.
as Miku and then do it. Even though she didn't plan it out, I still feel like that completely breaks the rules of engagement. And
No,
like, no,
she was
that's not
taking
okay.
advantage of it. I feel like she was flying off the cuff, and I feel like
I know.
this was like an overreaction. She's been burying this stuff and burying this stuff because she felt like she needed to, and then she's like, maybe I shouldn't. Maybe I should. They're all very like Nino just straight up in the front in his face and all of this, and who is Miku was dressed as the other girl. I mean, they all dressed as each other. I feel like they're honestly all over the place with the show. I still don't like the show. Let me be clear. Really don't like the show. I think it's dumb.
But you
But
have
at
to
least
admit the waifu war is interesting.
well, no, it's not interesting. It's entertaining. It doesn't make logical sense. It's like watching a B movie, okay? That's what this show feels like. It's like watching a B movie. Like it
Oh
might
my
as well
god.
be like Harryhausen monsters on the screen, okay? It might as well. I'm also still not Team Nino, and they are shoving her in our face, and
Yeah,
I don't know.
I told you. They told you they're doing the same thing they did to Rarity. It's like, oh, Rarity doesn't have enough fans. Oh, let's just give Rarity 10 character development episodes back to back. Oh,
Yeah.
Nino doesn't have any fans. It's just Nino now. Nobody else. Just Nino.
Well, if you ever want, I have some spoilers for this show, by the way, from the manga. So Erik, not on stream, obviously, but later, if you want spoilers, let me know.
I'm gonna wait till after the season's over, and then I'm probably gonna check to see who wins in the end.
I don't want you to check. I want you to ask me. I just ask me, okay? And it's gonna be fun.
I will not. I will
No,
not.
it's gonna be fun, man. It's gonna be fun. I'm gonna tell you, and
All
then
right.
it's gonna be fun. All right. But well, yeah, that's in the future, and obviously we would never spoil it for the stream because people who aren't reading the manga or that's cool. We're not going to spoil it for you. That's all right. On to a better show, aka
Spider is the best.
So, did I stop on? Am I on? Is my stream good, Winston? Are we good? Yeah. Okay. I just had a weird thing over here. Sorry about that.
So it's
Yeah,
funny
I
that
can't
the
speak to
screen
you
cap
guys.
you have has Crunchyroll's logo on it. Um, because if I guess they must have changed their subtitles because when I first watched it, the dialogue was "I can't speak isekai," but the subtitle said "No habla
No
isekai," which
hablo
I feel
isekai.
is
Yeah,
I appreciate that localization because it makes so much sense because she was speaking in English as in English in Japan is our version, kind of like our version of Spanish, where the language
yeah.
everyone learns in like school and whatever. So I really love the no habla isekai, even though she clearly says I can't speak isekai in English.
It's delightful.
Um,
I thought it was great.
yeah,
We've pretty much confirmed at this point that Spider's timeline is 15 years in the past from the human timeline,
yeah,
which hey, I had that theory last week. I'm glad it was right. Quite happy with that.
yeah,
So the um the hero guy his just found out that his brother is dead and now he gets the hero title, and we were very rapidly told that only one person in the world gets the hero title, which I feel like is a piece of dialogue we could have had like 6 episodes ago and then they reminded us of instead of just shoving it in our face really really fast during this episode. I just feel like that was kind of some bad storytelling, but eh.
yeah. I
um
feel like if they had mentioned that before, then we immediately would have known. Oh, only one person gets it. Well, I guess this guy is probably going to die. You know.
Yeah. You find out that the dragon person who exists in the 15-year timeline was the egg that she tried to eat, and then the human people that came to like, that came in the dungeon and
Yeah,
fought her took her silk and they made like a silk cloak out of it. And now that the human character has like the silk cloak and it's really rare because you can't make them make it, you have to get it from them once they've made it, and it's special and all of this. And so Spider Chick has now also discovered this random sysadmin guy, and also the what is it, D, like
yeah.
administrator D, who's apparently like a sadist or something. And like, yep, you're just amusing to me. So I've been kind of messing around because you amuse me. So,
I mean, she
in
sounds awfully
beating,
cheerful for. I'm not. I don't really believe she's as bad as she's claiming. She sounds awfully cheerful for that. Um,
you say that, but I don't know.
at first, I was thinking administrator was the teacher.
Mhm.
But that wouldn't make any sense because the teacher should have been revived new at that time too. So it wouldn't make any sense
Yeah,
for the teacher to get administrative privileges that quick. So
yeah,
I don't know. We also got to see kind of like their council of the demons or whatever. And so
yep. And
there's
of
one
course,
person on that team.
there's one giant bazongas because you need that clearly. I
Yeah,
mean,
yeah.
you know.
But there's one person on the team that her face was almost completely hidden. She only said like one quick line really, really fast. And so some people
Mhm.
are thinking that maybe that the person in charge of like Temp Squad might be the main character. Maybe she like learned how to become a human or something. So
She
there's a
getting
few hanging pieces in there.
if Renmaru can do it, I mean, I guess
Yeah.
that's what it is. So, yeah, it was an interesting episode. You got this administrator dude who's like hanging out, trying to figure out what's going on because she killed a dragon. Like that was pretty ingenious there. I'm not. She's got some good skills.
Yeah, she's been
More.
working on it. Like it's life or death. What's interesting is that the direction the show could have gone because Faye, which is the dragon girl, and
Mm,
Kumiko is the spider, right? Main characters, right? So she
uh,
almost ate Faye. They were born right next to each other in
yeah,
that dungeon. She was planning on eating Faye. I wonder what would have happened if she had eaten Faye and not known that Faye was like her classmate.
yeah, yeah. I mean, yeah, it would have been very very weird and probably screwed up her psyche. But Uh,
Yeah.
we're here now. I wonder when we're gonna get and find out what's all going on and how much of that's gonna happen in this part of the season. Do you know if the show's going to 24 episodes? Because I feel like not a lot has
Yeah,
happened, and there's like a
it
lot.
is 24, or at the very
Okay,
least, it's going to be more than one core. I don't know if it's going to be
yeah,
back to back, but I feel like it's probably just going to be 24 at once because we're not even like, it doesn't even feel like we're like close to like, oh, episode
no.
12, big plot ends, wait till next season.
Well,
You know, it feels
I,
like
I
we're just
honestly,
kind of going
I
to
feel
push
like
through.
I feel like it feels like we're moving toward her storyline coming to the point where she goes on a path and then it jumps to everybody in the future. You know what I mean? Like I
Yeah,
could see that. I don't know enough about the light novels to tell you how that works, storyline wise, but it feels like we get to a point with her storyline around episode 12 where it's like you determine what she's turning into and then it jumps to the future and then you learn more about like the future stuff. So that
yeah.
wouldn't surprise me if
And
that happened.
coincidentally, I mean, I guess Bookwalker always times their sales around stuff like this, but
Mm.
all the light novels that are currently out are going to be on sale for Bookwalker at the end of, till the end of the month. And then based on, I guess after like the last, I guess based on the next few episodes, I might just make the leap and just buy the whole light novel series. So I think you can get
Ooh,
like the whole thing right now for like $60.
look at you.
Yeah, I've been reading lots of
You're
light
such a
novels.
weeb.
Light novels.
You're such a
Whatever,
weeb, man.
whatever. I've read more light novels over the past year than books, period, I've read over the previous 12 years. Like, I consumed a lot of books over during this pandemic.
No, that's fair. I did my Goodreads last year was 81 books, so I feel
Oh,
you.
dang. Dang. I'm not even close to that. You kind of destroyed me. I thought I was doing good. You was
Yeah.
like, hey,
I read a lot, man. I go to the library all the time. I've
no,
only done like 7 or 8 for this year so far. Actually, I think it's 9 because I just finished one today. But yeah,
okay.
I mean that's yeah. I feel like that's reasonable. All right,
Yeah.
Yashahime. Oh, okay.
Yashahime.
I just wanted to put a
So
picture of Daddy Yasha here.
yeah,
Yeah.
like he was barely even in the original Inuyasha. Like I didn't even recognize that design, and it was like, oh, that's what Inuyasha's dad looked like. And apparently, like he was in like the OVA movie for like a second, and that's it.
Yeah, that's
And it's like
what I do.
you're gonna bring him into like now you're gonna have him have like a prominent like appearance in the side
Well,
story.
the
Okay,
weirdest thing for me is his voice actor and his appearance do not match at all. Like,
I don't
oh my
remember what his
god,
voice sounded like.
he sounded like an old man, and like, who is this daddy right here? I mean, like, come on, and then he just sounds like some, not even like an attractive old man, like some like 50-year-old salary man kind of guy. I mean, what are we doing here? What are we doing?
I
It
mean,
didn't
he
match.
probably
It
is
didn't match
pretty
at
old.
all.
He probably
Yeah,
is
well,
pretty
he
old
didn't
though.
have to sound like that. I'm just saying, but
Maybe
he and
he's a
Corinne
chain
Maru
smoker.
are like rivals, I think. Like that's what they established before. Like he's the only one. He and Corinne Maru were like demon lords that went over like different areas and they would fight because they didn't always agree. But they came together to defeat this comet, and the comet
Yeah,
came back. And then Inuyasha, and because the demon lord is dead and the other guy was asleep, Inuyasha and
so
Shomaru came
Shomaru had
back
to do it.
time and sent the comet back. And now at the end of this episode, they teased the comet coming back in the future, which was kind of interesting because what are they going to do then? So
Yeah, that's really weird because like before, like in the Inuyasha time, it's like okay, they don't have science, so a comet really is like just like a natural disaster that just like oh it happens whenever. But now we know when comet like we literally have a timeline for every comet that's going to be passing by the Earth to the end of time,
yeah,
right? So it's like
yeah.
for like this comet just can't come out of nowhere. Like it doesn't make any sense. I guess is it truly a magical comet? I don't know.
Well, Nairman's like, yeah, I wonder who the long red brown haired teacher could be. Yeah, yet another random storyline that we have come back around to and thrown back into the show because we need about
Yeah,
800 different plot points going that don't all, like, usually don't connect smoothly whatsoever. And the episodes are all freaking over the place. This show is definitely gonna
yeah.
at least end like a big season arc, and because we're on 22. There's like 2 episodes, and there's so
It
many
might
things.
just
And
keep
I
it might
know,
just keep going. Like be like
oh,
Boruto and just be like, oh no, we're going for like 100 episodes.
even things like Naruto and Boruto and all of these shonen shows, they have arcs. Okay, they have arcs that make sense. That like
Yeah,
you
but the arcs
start
never
in
like
this arc,
the arcs
like
the arcs never have like a consistent like episode number. It's like whenever it ends, it ends. Like
and that's fair, but this does not feel like an arc. This feels like somebody. like, somebody who reads the bones like a voodoo priestess has scattered them on the table and picking them out to tell your fortune. That's what the episodes
Yeah,
feel like, okay?
it has
Like,
no
it's
direction.
all over the place. But yeah. Now, this whole episode was about Toa being dumb again because she was
I mean,
dumb, doesn't have her
I mean, Toa
freaking
is
jewels.
about Toa being dumb last episode. Like she didn't really
Yeah, you're
necessarily
right.
do
You're right.
anything
You're right.
dumb this episode, but it's like, dang, okay, now we find out that your jewel actually has a benefit. Okay, once you give it
Yeah.
away, now we realize it has a benefit. Thanks,
Yeah,
Toa.
so they get attacked by Demon Lady who takes over Toa. And it's
What gets me is that
so
like
out of
Morha has two options, right? Morha, she's like, oh, if you kill me, Toa dies with me, and I'm like, okay, don't kill her, just beat her up really badly. But Morha just stands there like, oh, I guess I can't kill you. I guess I'm just going to step aside. Like, no,
yeah.
no, like. What are you talking
And
about? And
it's funny.
How come Setsuna couldn't shake Toa off her? Setsuna's just standing there like, oh, get off of me. Get off,
I
like
don't get
Toa. Toa, do
it.
something. I mean, Setsuna, do something.
Moraha is really the only competent one in this show, but even then, her stuff is really inconsistent too. They're all just super inconsistent. Like sometimes they're like the hottest shit since sliced bread, and sometimes they're cold diarrhea in a Dixie cup. I mean, it just you never know. You never know, man. Okay.
So it's like we also got to see Morha and Setsuna fight with their like unlocked demon powers. Um and Morha was jumping off mountains with like this red glow around her, and she was like pretty much going Super Saiyan, and I was like, this is 10 times you're fighting Setsuna 10 times harder than you fought Kimaru, whatever the other dog demon.
No,
Like
and when they
you
fought
punched him
other
and he
people,
slaps you and you were done. You're like, oh, I'm down for the
I
count.
know.
Wrap
And
him
when
out.
she fought other people as Beniyasha, she's become Beniyasha like several times now. And every single time it's a different amount of time. And it's not consistent one way or the other.
It's a
Sometimes,
different amount of
oh,
time.
I'm
It's a different amount of
Beniyasha
like
for like 30
energy.
seconds. And mom, I'm done. And then this time it was like I'm Beniyasha for like a whole freaking half a day with no explanation
Yeah,
of why.
chasing after her down the mountains, and I'm like, why couldn't you fight like this when your lives were in danger? Like, what are you doing?
I know, I know. Yeah, and it is a good thing
Yeah,
the rouge never runs out. Like you got
like
to replace that stuff, get some pigment up in there, okay, and then put some
like
more in, get
that doesn't make
infused
any
with
sense.
gem.
That doesn't make any sense. Like, how does it not run out? It's been
I
used
still have.
by her, Kagome. Well, I guess Kagome probably just kept it as a keepsake. But like
Well, they didn't.
Inuyasha's
Yeah, I
mother
was gonna
used
say.
it.
Well,
Like,
they had the compact, and they may have been replacing it because it was just kind of normal before, and then they put the gem in it, and then it got supercharged, and I
I
don't.
suppose. I
It
mean,
bothers me, okay? A lot about this show bothers me. The whole idea of the Beniyasha thing bothers me because it's so inconsistent. And it doesn't make any sense whatsoever.
we
Ugh.
completely forgot about the plot of her like gonna turn and like lose herself. It's like, oh no, that's
That was the
inconvenient
other
right now. So don't talk about
we
it.
just introduced in one episode that every time she uses Beniyasha, she becomes less and less of herself, and then never reference that again. Ever.
Yeah,
This feels like okay, so if you ever watch Star Trek, right? You watch Star Trek in TNG and especially in Deep Space Nine. There's a character called Miles O'Brien, and he's like an engineering chief, right? And he does it, but there's this like several episodes in Deep Space Nine where horrific things happen to this man. Like in one episode, he has to live in a prison of his own, basically within his own mind, where he experiences like 30 or 40 years in this prison, and he's driven to murder his cellmate who is his only friend for like all of this time, and he has this horrible PTSD from this episode. Guess what? Never talk about it again, never mentioned again,
yeah.
never had any kind of other thing. That's what freaking Yashahime feels like. That's what the whole Beniyasha storyline feels like to me. It's a Miles O'Brien problem, and I can't
Yeah.
if Sashomaru's blood is so strong Setsuki can't control it, how is Inuyasha able to keep himself from going when he's a direct son of an even bigger demon? I agree. I agree. The
Yeah,
whole
they
half
don't
demon.
really handle the bloodline thing very well because Toa is the older sister, so it makes sense for Toa to have the most power. But
Yeah.
Setsuna seems to be the strongest, and Moriha is stronger than Toa, even though she's a quarter
Yeah.
demon. And
Moriha seems like
Toa,
more competent and stronger than both of them in a way, you know? And it's like, what? And yeah, it doesn't
like,
make sense.
yeah,
I don't know. I don't know. This
like
show's
the
frustrating.
one thing I hate, the one thing I hate the most is that Toa is the only one that has Inuyasha's half moon like curse, where she loses her
Mhm.
power during the half moon. But it's like she
Yeah.
barely has any powers to begin with. It's
Yeah.
like whatever, okay. It's
Yeah.
like
Yeah. No. It's like, oh, your hair turned dark again. And it's just like, did you just do this because her hair was white? I mean, like,
yeah,
ugh.
like I felt they're just
Ugh.
making it up as they go.
They absolutely are. And that's kind of the problem with this entire show. They're just making it up as they go. The show is frankly terrible. And I'm sorry for any Super Inuyasha fans out there that the anime industry has done this to you, has cursed you with this steaming pile of dung that is a sequel to a super highly anticipated sequel. This is
Yeah.
crap on a pile, and there's steam
If
and
you're
maybe some like flies coming out of it. That's what the show is. Okay,
if you're
that's what the
looking
show.
for good Inuyasha content and you haven't seen Final Act is like the franchise's apology to the fan base, and like I know we railroad you for like all of 200 episodes. Here's 24 episodes that's just nothing but good content back to back. We're going to kill like 2 or 3 enemies every single episode. We're just running through it. And Final Act is their apology letter.
Yeah. Well, I
So
mean, I
watch
get it.
that so you can
Rumiko
be happy.
Takahashi, like, Rumiko Takahashi does one of two things, right? She does a one-shot manga that ends in one book, or she goes on forever. And all of her manga fall in one of those. Like, Ranma One Half is obscenely long. Maison Kuko, obscenely long. One Pound Gospel is one book. You know, Mermaid Scar is like one book. So I get it. They're working with what they got, but this is this is a bad show. Yashahime is
Yeah.
just a bad show on a lot of levels.
Could have been good though.
So
Like I feel like it had some cool ideas in it that could have worked.
yeah, but it's like they decided to shove a bunch of plot lines that don't mesh together, and they didn't do the storytelling well, and it
Yeah.
just
Someday we'll see
I don't,
Inuyasha and Kagome again. Someday. These
one
kids don't
day.
care about their parents at all. Like, come on now.
No, well, I mean I get why Toa and Setsuna really don't, because they're like, we never really had parents, you know, and it's
Like,
I get
Mora,
that.
your
Like,
parents love you. Do something.
yeah,
Mora,
I don't know.
please.
He even has like old lady Kaede or whatever there or whatever her name is to tell her about it, you know? And it's
Yeah.
like, all right, guess you don't care. Cool,
Guess
whatever.
you don't care. Whatever.
All right, on to a better show. I feel like our slideshow is very up and down because it's like, oh, this show is crap. This show is really good though.
Yeah, we gotta wash our mouth sometimes of the taste.
Well,
What happened in Wonder Egg?
I wonder why Sesshomaru and Inuyasha couldn't just handle Kirinmaru. I think they could. But Kirinmaru didn't even wake up until that comet came back. I don't even know that they even knew he was still alive until that comet came back. And then he like woke up and he's like, you know, oh, there's halflings. That sucks. I don't like that. I'm
Honestly,
racist guy.
there's no way if they got the whole gang together, like maybe not just Shishomaru and Inuyasha. Maybe like if Kikyo, I mean, Kagome had come in, Moroku had come in, and the whole gang. There's no way anybody like they took out Naraku. There's no way anybody was going to stand a chance. So this is just a fake. This is just a fake thread.
Yeah, I agree. All right, so Wonder Egg. Lunar Tiger has never seen Wonder Egg, but you can tell me about it. Wonder Egg is really fascinating, but it definitely has a content warning for a lot of stuff, for self-harm, for grooming, for suicide. So if any of those things, you know, if you're concerned about them, please be aware. In Wonder Egg, we're following these 4 characters here, 4 girls, and they help other girls who, well, there's a lot in question after this week. A lot of things were revealed. What you think they're doing is helping other girls who have committed suicide come to terms with their stuff and then they poof and disappear out of this like magical realm, and they're trying to help their
Yeah.
friend who has committed suicide to come back. A lot of
Yeah.
stuff happened in this episode, though. A lot. I'm not even sure if this
So
was from this episode, but this was just the one I found. But I'm gonna
I
go back
mean,
here.
it's my girl. It's my girl though. Like, how can I oppose that
This was a
decision?
really like dumb line though. But I like that she had a lot of
That's
backstory
her
this time.
catchphrase. Like her catchphrase, "I'm gonna blow your mind." I's catchphrase is, "Now I'm really mad." The other two,
Well,
they just say
okay,
whatever.
so Nariman is not a fan of this episode because it's a lot of weird sciencey stuff that hadn't been brought up until now, with only a few episodes left. It's gonna matter to me how they handle the next couple of episodes, because it could be really good. I'm intrigued. I would like more explanation, but then again, I feel like this show feels halfway to an Ikuhara show, and in an Ikuhara show, I always want explanations, and I'm never going to get them. That's just kind of how
Yeah.
it is. In this episode, we
So,
had. Go ahead. Sorry, Eric.
so yeah, we get to see Neru's friend. I guess it didn't really explain how exactly. It didn't confirm how how she was her friend, whether she was like one of the kids that grew up in there, or if she was a doctor, because we weren't really sure of her exact age. I guess she did say she didn't want adults touching her, so I guess she probably was one of the kids. But
Yeah.
she seems to be kind of like having a lot of like doctor background, and she knows a lot about the science, and she was studying like,
Near-death
was she
experiences.
studying reality?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
So
you're
we
studying
get to see
near-death
her.
experiences. Yeah.
Yeah. So we get to see her, and apparently she committed suicide as well. But Nero gets to see her in the Wonder Egg world, and she doesn't even seem like disappointed that she's dead. She's like, "Yeah, man, I'm just hanging out here. This is interesting." And Nero is trying to save her, and we get to see like her tell Nero like, "I don't, like I." But the thing is, here's the weird part. She's in the suicide world, but she's not actually completely dead. She's on life support.
Yeah.
So I
Well,
guess
and then
she's
you
brain
find that
dead. I
that's
don't
what
know.
the crux of this episode is. She's in the suicide world, but she's still on life support, and her body's still alive. And the idea is that her mind has basically passed on. And
Yeah.
but then you find out that possibly all of that was a lie, and that the two puppet guys that are telling them what to do and how to get the eggs have been manipulating like a lot of this from the get-go. So
Yeah. And
yeah,
also the lady that's kind of like helping
Cubase the
Neru in the
entire
company.
time.
She's scheming with them.
You gotta
The teacher might also
you
be
gotta
part
look
of it.
at
So
you gotta look
let's
at
see.
chat. The non-Cubase were Cubase the entire time.
Oh yeah. I mean, who would have thought?
Who
Who would have thought? You fooled me once. You fooled me twice. You fooled me 3 times.
But the so at the very beginning also they have, so this is like a thing in anime now, and I'm really excited about it for when COVID is over. They have like, it's a popular thing to have a taco party, which is like a takoyaki party with you bring a takoyaki machine and everybody makes their own like takoyakis. I own a takoyaki machine now, and once COVID is over, I'm gonna have a taco party. And I've seen this in like a bunch of anime now, and they definitely had a taco party at the beginning of this episode. So
Yeah.
I feel
A
like
lot of things about to go down.
The other 3 girls get invited over to like Neru's place, and you find out that she's like a test tube, possibly eugenics baby that's like, combined from like high IQ people, and that's why she has no parents and stuff like that. But
Yeah, and then you get to see Rika's like, "Oh, I guess you really put my problems in perspective. I'm mad I've never seen my dad. You really don't have a dad."
oh, PZs,
Or
you are
mom.
100% invited to my taco party. So please come to my taco party. It's going to be
Streaming
great.
live.
You're invited to my taco party and my Hannibal party when I get to a gallon of blood given. I'm going to have a Hannibal party. So, yes, you can come too. It'll be great.
I'll pass.
See, Eric, the Hannibal party is going to be great. Everything will totally be edible. All right. Absolutely edible.
You don't say.
But okay, so she invites her 3 friends over, and randomly they start talking about like her friend who's catatonic and was experimenting with near death stuff. Also, I don't think that girl committed suicide. She was experimenting with near death experiences and went too far. Is that suicide? It was by accident. I mean, how are we classifying this at
It
that
also
point, you
doesn't
know?
fit into the narrative that the that the egg guys were talking about, because he was saying that the reason why you're dragged into their world is because like how strong their emotions were. But her
Yeah.
friend feels very content with like, oh, I she like to her she won. She got a near death experience, and now she's living inside her near death experience. So she wasn't even like trying to get out. She was like, whatever, man. Like you don't even have to fight this
Well,
for
yeah.
me. Like I'm just here.
And Nairman made the point. I don't get the plot. Like, the plotting. Was she inviting them over to help her convince her to, turn the life support off? Because obviously, when they were over, she had already been through the experience in the egg, and the egg experience had already happened, right? And I agree. I think the girls, like the other 3 girls outside of I, who came back and was supportive and stuff, they don't know this girl. They don't know your story with her. Why would you even open this up for them to like attack you about this? Why would you even bring them there when you're deciding this? Like, I don't understand that. Like, I don't think it was super fair of them either, because they don't know what's going on here, and they don't know, like, this isn't their friend who's catatonic. It was just really awkward. Like, it was a pretty awkward piece. So
Yeah. And
I,
so she ended up pulling the plug, but she couldn't, even she couldn't do it. She was having hesitation, and I was the one that came back and I was like, oh, your friend really just doesn't want the adults to be able to like use her body afterwards. Okay,
yeah,
let's kill her. And I'm like, oh, okay, that's a little strange coming from you, but okay. Like,
yeah. I feel like they're setting up I to almost have like a personality 180, because she was the one who couldn't even like get it together to leave her house for a long time, and now she's the decisive one, and it feels
yeah,
weird. I don't know. It
like,
it, it feels very strange. I don't know, but I mean, like, I doesn't feel numb anymore. That's the thing. She feels more alive again. It was a weird
yeah, we
episode,
still don't
but we
even
found
like.
out.
There's so many plot points of I that are like still on the table that we don't even know about. And I feel like next episode
Yeah,
might try to tie a bunch of stuff together.
a creepy teacher. We've moved away from creepy teacher, which I mean is uncomfortable. So I'm glad we've moved away from it for that reason. But I know it's coming
I
back
think we're
around.
going back. I think it's going to be revealed that every single girl has someone in their life that's been pulling the strings, that's been leading them to this point. Where Neru had the lady, the I has the teacher, and I think the other two are going to have somebody in their life that along with the egg guys, and that might be where we end up.
That they're all pulling the strings behind the scenes.
Yeah, because like
Yeah,
how did all of them happen to find Wonder Eggs? So
yeah, yeah, yeah. It's
why
it's
did why did
interesting.
why did he choose these particular girls?
Yeah. Well, I think it's too coincidental that the teacher is very related. Like that's
Yeah,
still really coincidental. So I don't know. I don't know. But this was an interesting episode. I still think this is like the best show that's out right now, even if it is kind of it was messy this week. And I'm
yeah.
curious to see where they're going with the end of it. So we'll see. We'll see. Horimiya. Ugh,
Horimiya
Horimiya.
is
We really
weird.
should put people in order on the sheet.
I
Horimiya
mean,
made me
Horimiya.
uncomfortable.
I
I'm
don't I
usually a
don't
big
quite
advocate.
understand. I don't understand. Hori's kink feels not her character type. Like it's like she
Great.
feels too normal to have such a strange kink that's this problematic. Like if it was like one time thing where she's like, hey, that'd be pretty funny if you did that, and
Yeah.
and let's do that at one time. That okay, all right, that's fine. But the fact that she wants him to literally hit her in public and call her a bitch in public, like, what do you like? Not only is that bad, just in general, but it makes people around you think that you're in an abusive relationship, and it's just
Yeah.
okay. Like
Yeah.
there's so many people that just think that they're in an abusive relationship, and it's like it's not even like they don't even try to like fix the situation. Be like, no, we're just joking around. They just let it hang.
They do.
Like the girls, the
It's
underclassmen
really
in the thing, the blue haired boy, they're like, oh, he just hits her.
It's
Like,
really
okay,
uncomfortable. Like I do not like it at all. It is super duper uncomfortable and problematic. But I think it's even more problematic if you think about like she's got like abandonment issues and like her dad is a loser and I'm like just a complete louse and it gets even more uncomfortable when you think about like her backstory a little bit. And I just oh my god, I don't like it. I don't like it at all. Like this is something
yeah,
somebody should be going to a psychiatrist about. Like, please stop. Not like, cute romancy. No, please stop. Please stop this.
like I
Mm,
don't think that it has gotten quite into the this really needs to be addressed part yet, but it is like unusual,
why
and
did we
and
get
and I love when
basically two episodes of it too? It's not like this was
I
something, like a one off and then we moved on. We got a whole nother episode about it. And it was introduced in the last episode.
Yeah, I feel like I recently I've been forgiving a lot of anime series that are based on like light novels or manga because the anime wants to adapt as much as it can. The thing with
Yeah.
manga is that manga evolves over time, and there are times where like, oh, sales have dropped, let's change it up a little bit, or the fan base said they wanted this, let's try to add something weird in it. And so there's times where manga series just gets weird for a little period of time, and
Yeah.
the anime has to cover it. So I'm a little forgiving. So I think it's more just an issue of the original work, and I think the anime at itself is still pretty good, but this is a weird chapter to cover.
Yeah, it's very strange. And then you got the juxtaposition of the guy who's like super guilty and angry at Miyamura from like back in the day. And so there's a lot. I don't know. I feel like there was a lot going on in here. And you made the point. It feels like a collection of weird chapters in the manga that they felt like they had to animate, and it felt a little disjointed a little this week
Yeah,
because I don't think the storylines meshed real well. But yeah, I mean, it's interesting to get more Miyamura background because you really don't have a lot of that. But yeah,
I totally thought that the blue-haired boy was about to say "I love Miyamura," and I was like,
yeah,
oh, that's where it's gonna go. It's gonna go. But it's like, no, he just innocent says I I'm sorry. Oh, okay, got you. You're just
yeah.
guilty. Okay, not the
I don't.
direction I thought you were going, but okay.
I also don't like that a lot of their like bullying subtext got solved by the fact that she wanted him to like beat her in public. What?
Yeah,
First of all, we already
yeah.
addressed that. I don't like that, but like, yeah, that was a weird conclusion to that problem. You know what I mean? Like,
And
hmm.
there was one line Miramura said where he was like, "Oh, would you ever hit Hori if you had to?" And the guy was like, "I would never do that." He's like, "Oh, that's why you can't be with her." And I'm like,
Yeah,
"No,
that was
that's not the solution. What are you talking about? Like
that's weird.
that's the appropriate response."
Yeah, it's funny. I just watched an episode of Dear Brother where San Sama asks the main character, she's like, would you die for love? If your lover asked you to die with them, would you do it? And she's just like, no. No, I wouldn't. And no, that's the right answer. That's the logical answer here. I mean, like, no. How about no? But
Check,
yeah.
please.
I mean, I'm still into Horimiya, but it was weird this week. So I don't know.
Yeah.
Oh, speaking of weird this week.
Oh, Skate.
Oh my
Was Skate
god.
weird? Oh, Skate was weird. Yeah, I mean, it's a lot of stuff
Oh yeah,
happened.
Eric. Guess what?
We
It
got
was a baseball episode.
a base. Oh my god. Oh my god.
Baseball
How is something
episode.
like that allowed? Like that's like
This is my
even
problem.
so
This is my problem with the S races. It doesn't make sense. Why doesn't somebody just have their goons jump somebody else on the track? This proves that there's no logic in this race, okay? None at
oh my
all.
god. Like how are people okay with this? The fact that you could just get physically assaulted like it was one thing where Shadow was like throwing little pipe bombs onto the
No,
street and you're like, "Oh,
Adam
that's
just stopped
I feel
and hit it with a skateboard like
like
a
that's
baseball bat.
Like, and the speed that he was moving, they were on a straightway, so literally he was going at maximum possible speed, and then Adam
Hmm.
was running towards him to the point where he could not
Yep.
even stop or change direction, and he got smacked in the face with a skateboard. That is like killing. That is a killing move. Like, how is that not a jailable offense?
There's a meme going around where it's Langa walking around looking for Reki, and then Shadow's like, "But Langa, Cherry is dying," and that's literally what happened. Langa's like, "I don't care, I'm looking for my boyfriend," and then Cherry is literally dying. Like, what? What?
Oh my god.
Oh
Oh
my
my
god!
god. How are
Yeah,
people not up in arms
you got
over
this
this? Like,
you've got this whole setup where Cherry and Joe and Adam are like bros and they came up together and they learned how to skate together and you knew it was going to be bad. But so far you've had Adam like, trying to run people off of the track or having them fall off a cliff. Nope. No, he didn't even just whips up his
it was just
board and
so
hits him in
direct.
the face.
It was so direct. Like, at this point, how
It
come Joe doesn't
was
just run up to the track and be like, you know what? Let's just throw
yeah,
down. I have
I would
lots
see
of
Joe just like
muscle.
murdering Adam. I know because Joe and Cherry are my favorite ship in this show. Okay,
Like,
like I'm all about that. I'm all about that nonsense. All right,
yeah,
just
Joe
saying.
should just like
Just
break
saying.
Adam's legs right there. But I mean,
But
tournament
yeah,
arcs are so predictable. Like, I literally predicted this out. I didn't predict Cherry was going to get like curb stomped,
being
but
face.
but we knew. I predicted the matchup because it's like we all know
Yeah,
like it has to work out with Langa versus Adam.
Adam. Yeah, I don't know.
I
You
guess I
could
don't
have
know how
somebody
the
get all
rest of
the
the
way to
match is
the
going to play out though.
You could have
What you
somebody
say?
get all the way to the end and then choke in the end. You could have a JJ situation,
Oh
Eric.
my
We could have
god.
a JJ
Oh my
situation.
god. JJ isn't
It's
the main character. He's just the best character.
He is the best character. I'm glad we're on the same page about that. We have a lot of JJ
Yeah.
love here. But
Yeah.
yeah, no. So you've got the first race in this episode also didn't make any sense. So I get that Joe is super strong and it was super impressive, right? You can't
Yeah.
just plank on a skateboard and make your aerodynamics better. Like, not in an
I
appreciable way.
mean,
Also, you're losing stability. He just planked on a skateboard. Like, what? What? It hurt my soul, Eric.
I
It hurt my
mean,
soul to watch that.
that's less outrageous than the physics we've been seeing so far. I mean,
Oh no, it is.
like
It just bothers
Adam's
me. Like
Adam's
no
love
one would
hug is
plank
like
on a
so
skateboard.
absurd. The fact what's truly absurd is that they have the ability to accelerate and decelerate on the straightaways, right? Because like it was like, oh,
Yeah,
Adam and Cherry are like back neck and neck, neck and neck, and then Adam's like, okay, let me just pull ahead really quick, that way I can then do my love hug, and it's like, but you were already going at max speed. You can't just
yeah.
be there's no gas on your skateboard.
It doesn't make any sense. And I still think that cherry skateboard should not be like street legal. Okay, like it does
Yeah.
not seem like any piece of that should be legal. But then again,
Now I
beating
mean,
somebody
he
with a
legitimately
skateboard to
cheated in this
the
one.
face. Do what?
He legitimately cheated on this one because he was like, I'm gonna close my eyes and have my skateboard tell me when to turn, because he was like he didn't want to look
Yep.
at Adam during the love hug because he's like, I didn't want to like fall into illusion. And then like the
Yep.
skateboard changed at certain parts. We're like, oh, a longer
Now it's a
skateboard is
long
faster
board.
in this
Now it's
segment.
a short board.
And it's like,
Yeah, yeah,
like, bruh, like, why, if you're good, why are you even relying on this?
yeah, yeah.
Like, if you have the money, buy everybody one of these skateboards. Make it fair. Make it a real tournament.
The mom has made something, by the way. Anybody who's
It's
watching?
for you, but you won't keep it, so it's gonna go in the next.
Okay, so the next person who orders from the Momocon store, by the way, if you're interested in the Momocon store, momocon.com/shop, we've got some cool stuff, including some cool masks. She's made something. She won't tell me what it is, but she says that the next order will get whatever she's made as a
I'm
gift
making
in
it
it.
right
She's making it right now. So
a special a
it,
special
don't burn
mom
my house down.
experience.
She's burning my house down.
Oh no.
I might have to leave quickly. I'm just saying. But Skate was wild this week, and we'll get more of the arc. This show is definitely a guilty pleasure for me because it's not high art, okay? It's not high art, but
Yeah.
you know, We're here. We're committed.
Wait.
Yeah. We're here. They're all queer. You should get used to it. Everybody's gay in this show. I don't care how many beach
Except
episodes
Shadow.
with women they throw at us. They're all gay.
Shadow
All
is
of them.
fighting for his love. He's trying to be a
I'll
better
say
man out
Shadow
here.
is the only one that might have a chance to be straight. The only one. Everybody else
Yeah.
is definitely gay.
The
There is
post-credit scene
definitely-
feels like it confirms Joe Cherry pretty hard. Joe was like, Adam
Oh,
skates alone, but we skate together.
that's right. Because Joe Cherry is the best ship. They call it matcha something. Matcha Sakura, matcha cherry or something, because his hair is green like matcha, and he's like cherry like Sakura. And yeah, I like it. They're my ship, man. This is Skate the Infinity. Matcha Blossom. Yes. Matcha Blossom. See, I knew she would know. But Joe and Cherry are my number one ship. Joe might be my favorite character. I like Joe a lot, and I don't know. I'm into it, even though he's got a weird womanizer storyline, I guess. And no one really believes because he's
the best.
Cherry.
He's gonna lose next episode.
Shadow's great. I'm into Shadow too, so that's cool. I'm in.
Yeah.
All right, Titan. Titan's been fun. Titan had a wild week.
What happened in Titan?
Oh, what happened in Titan? We went to dinner. We went to dinner at a restaurant, Erik. I wonder whose restaurant it was.
Oh my god. Oh my god. How did Gabby become the top candidate being that dumb? Gabby is so like
I think Gabby's really unhinged, and it's one of those things like, okay, so like I don't know, you watch people that like in media that go into like the military, but they go into the military because they're unhinged and they want to murder people. That's what Gabby's like. Gabby's not stable. She's like at the top of her class because she's brutal. Absolutely brutal. Like
I love that Falco is out here. Falco does not turn his brain off. He is constantly thinking. He's constantly analyzing. He's constantly changing his worldview, and that's why he's simultaneously the best candidate and the worst candidate. Because they can't. Like if Falco was a choice, he would have jumped ship the moment he like landed. He was like, wait a minute, something's not right here. Let me investigate the politics going on, and he would have changed sides. But he's the only one that's thinking like in the moment. Gabby was like, yeah, I killed this chick when I got on the blimp. I'm a stowaway. Like I shot her right there. And Falco like, Gabby, I don't think this guy is on our side. No, I killed her. Gabby, please.
No. This was a wild episode. I just chose the screenshot because it's creepy. Like it's not super relevant to what we're talking about. It's just disturbing. Why did Mappa have to make all of the character designs incredibly disturbing in this season? I don't know why, but it's really weird. So in this episode, you get the Browse family, including their new stowaways, Gabby and Falco, show up to the restaurant with the guy who was like Sasha's boyfriend, basically, who was in love with her and stuff, who used to be Marleyan and was one of those people that came over on the boat. And he starts making a bunch of like racist against Eldian statements about this wine, because they see this wine over there and they're like, hey, this is the good stuff. You only give this to officers. And he's like, no. Get your filthy paws off of this, random racist crap about Eldians.
Yeah.
And then turns out that it was full of, what is it? It's Zeke's spinal fluid or something?
That paralyzed you.
Yeah.
And so he's been trying to protect. He hasn't been throwing away the bottles because he feels like if he makes a big move, like he might get killed immediately. And so he's been keeping the bottles, but he's trying not to give it to anybody. And so when they almost drank it, he was like, let me put this in the back real quick. And as he's like trying to like lock up these bottles so that nobody drinks them, Gabby's like, yeah, I killed Sasha. Let's get out of here. And he's like, you did what? And so he beats her in the head with this glass bottle.
Yeah.
Or he tries to beat her in the head
by accident. He was trying,
Falco jumps in and get some of the wine gets in his mouth. And so Falco's down for the count, and he's like, okay, I'm gonna bring Gabby out, and we're gonna have a public trial right now for this kid. And he just drags her out, and he's like, hey, Mr. Browse, she killed your daughter.
Here's a knife.
Here's
yep.
Here's a knife. I'm gonna give you the honors. If you don't do it, I got it. Like
Yep.
it was such a it was such a crazy and yet diplomatic approach to it. He was like, yeah, like you're her father. You have the most right to be angry at this kid. You have the first stab. If you don't do it, I got your back. Don't worry about it.
Yep.
and then
Yep.
Sasha's dad was like, no, we can't do this. Like it reminded me of the scene in from Batman where the Joker gave the switches to two ships and he was like, hey, you got to push the button and it's going to blow up the other
Yep.
ship.
The
And
other
this random
guys.
inmate was like, yeah. And this random inmate was like, oh no, I got it. Give me the button. I'm gonna blow it up. And then he ends up throwing the button out the window. It
Yeah.
reminded me so much of this because Sasha's dad was such a hero. He was like, yeah, I am really mad that my daughter got killed, but like she signed up for it. She understood what was happening, and it's my fault for even like putting her in a situation where she had to do this. And it's like we gotta protect the kids. We can't have this go on for another generation. And like he's such a hero because he has
He
every
is.
right to be upset.
He does. And I mean, like, yeah, and he's just like a great person. So
Yeah.
the spinal fluid, they said in the earlier part of the episode where Zeke's talking to Levi that they sprayed the spinal fluid out, and that's what made a bunch of the people into the brainless Titans. Is that correct? Or something like that? Something happened where those people like died or were paralyzed.
So the spinal fluid has two effects. It paralyzes the person so they can't fight back. And then when Zeke does his scream, it turns them into a brainless Titan. So Falco needs some Titan powers real fast, or else he's not gonna be around much longer. So he needs some Titan powers.
Well, I feel like we were leading Falco to be somebody with a Titan anyway. If anybody from that group was going to, they felt like that, you know. So
yeah, hopefully Falco can take over for Zeke. Some people are saying he's going to take it for Aaron, but I don't think they're not going to kill Aaron until the final episode. So
yeah, I feel like that would be like definitely an end of series kind of thing. But
yeah,
I could see it with Zeke. I could see it with Reiner too, although he's still on the mainland, isn't he? Like he stayed because he fought them or something.
Like episodes we saw that they're trying to speed up the attack, and they're like, wait a minute, they think that we're gonna wait, so let's just not wait and just do it like tomorrow. So Reiner might just show up, like he might just be like, hey guys, what's up?
Yeah. So I mean, all of that. Oh yeah, thank you for not spoiling us because we have not read the manga for this, so we could just be talking about weird stuff. I know the manga is past it. I'm probably not going to read the manga, but I will finish.
Like, oh, those fools! Ha ha ha!
Yeah, I know we sound silly. Although I was right about Spider. I was right about 15 years in Spider, so I feel good about that. I'm down. Yeah. I'm down. All right. Slime was so boring this week.
Yeah, God. slime. It was a build up episode. It has the same like effect of like the Higarashi thing had, where it's like we didn't have to have this be a whole episode, but I mean, right now we're at the doorstop. We're at the front door of this bloodbath. So there's no more stalling. There's it's on, and I am so ready for it. I am so ready. Like, oh my God, I'm so ready.
All right, I can't deal with it. Literally murdering thousands of people, okay, and consuming their souls.
They signed up for it. They signed up for it. They signed up for it. They're soldiers.
They signed up for it. All right, Mr. Browse, get out of here with your nonsense.
Okay, no. He was talking about you can't bring the children in, and I feel like we're going to address this when we talk about Neverland. Slime is not killing children. He's killing adults that knew their nation is in the wrong. And they're out on the battlefield regardless.
No. These are grunt soldiers, okay? You could maybe say that about things like generals, but I guarantee the meat of this army are people that are conscripted by the leadership in their town. So you want to get at me about ethics and morals with this?
That's fair.
You're like murdering aliens that have been forced into service in Attack on Titan, okay? That's what you're doing.
Fair.
And you're consuming
that is fair. That is fair, but that is fair, but I'm still not showing any sympathy. They killed Shion, and that's the breaking point.
He didn't even kill her.
They killed a whole village.
Dude, One dude killed her. It wasn't even them. It was one dude.
Okay.
Should they be responsible for that when they've been conscripted into service because of where they were born? Is that ethical, Erik? Do they deserve to die for that? And
Probably not, but it's different times. It's different. It's different times. It's a different. There's a different set of rules.
Different times, is it?
It's a different set of rules. It's a different.
Different set of rules. Yeah, whatever. We live in the year of our Lord 2021, and someone in this year made this anime, okay? And it's unethical. It's unethical. I'm telling you.
I support Rimuru in all his decisions. He hasn't made a bad decision yet. I support him 100%.
Blindly trust. You are blindly trusting Rimuru. What, like?
I am.
You should get into politics because you'd fit in real well there. I trust intrinsically. Intrinsically. Okay. All right. Man. Sure.
Oh.
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay.
Rimuru about to drop an atomic bomb on 10,000. I think he said he only needs 10,000. I think he's going to take the full 20. I don't see a reason to just take 10. I think he's gonna take the full 20, and he might maybe two of them are gonna become demon lords. I suspect maybe a buddy's gonna show up, and maybe there's gonna be 2 demon lords created, or maybe the other 10 might be consumed by Clayman, yeah, the bad guy. So who knows?
Yeah.
But I don't think anybody's leaving that battlefield besides Rimuru.
Let me be real, okay? I like having this argument with you because it is highly unethical, like in general. But realistically, what's going to happen in this show, based on everything of the show I've seen, which is now almost all of the second season, because we're getting pretty far into it or whatever. Nothing's going to happen to these people. He's going to do some kind of crap like he did with Mulan, where he like temporarily kills somebody, but then it triggers what he needs it to trigger, and no one actually gets hurt, and everybody gets folded in nicely. Because that's what's happened with everything else in this show.
I know. So I've been on Reddit, and the manga readers are like, they've been hyping everybody up for it. They haven't been dropping spoilers, but they've been saying, "Oh man, I've been waiting 2 years for this." And I'm like, if he backs out and pulls of like, "Oh no, it's like they're not dead," I don't think he will be this hype. The fans are like foaming at the mouth at this point, ready for this next episode, and I'm like, I'm ready too. I'm just
telling you, if it goes like that, it's definitely got to be some kind of horrific trauma that he can't deal with for a long time, because that's the only thing that's going to make it ethical, I guess, and moral. Is he feels real bad about it. But I think you're on the right path. I do think that Clayman or whatever might take the other half, and like as an unexpected twist kind of thing. Like he lets I let half of them go, and then this guy, and he just straight up murders the rest of them. I could see that happening. Like Rimru's back is turned, and this dude just murders. Like, I spared all of you, and then this guy comes behind him and is like, no, like I could definitely.
Here's Daenerys' dragons for the rest of them.
Yeah, you said you're gonna stop when we reach the walls.
But he suspects that these numbers are too convenient. Like, he suspected that, and so he seems to have a plan for Clayman. So I don't know. I trust Rimuru. Rimuru's really smart. He's usually on top of all the plans. So I'm really excited to see where this one goes.
Okay. Well, hopefully it won't go to, mass murder. We'll see.
The next episode. Let me tell you the next episode title. The next episode title is called Armageddon, and the kanji they use is the kanji for Wrath of God. like that's like, they really are hyping everyone up for this.
Yeah. I'm excited about it. I'm excited about slime. All right.
Okay.
Promise Neverland. Promise Neverland this week. Go ahead.
In terms of genocide that I can't justify, Norman was not as hard-boiled as he thought.
Yeah, and it makes sense that the old guy at the end. So you've got Norman, of course, has no intention of honoring Emma's wishes to come back. This didn't make sense. All right, you send them out. They've got 5 days, right? Norman was clearly ready to go when they met up. Why did he wait 4 days so that they could reach him by the time, with Mujika and Sanja? Why wouldn't he just go right then and, murder all the people?
So, it doesn't seem like it really I mean, I suppose that he did give them enough time to find Mujika, but so like they weren't like on their way back before he did this. They saw the fire
No, they
from
couldn't.
like really
Yeah,
far
but
away,
they
and they
found
got
he
there.
could have done it like they could have walked out the door and he could have done it. And you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, and they wouldn't have found Mujika and all of that. So I get that he wants to find her to like kill her so that they don't spread the blood. Because the person, okay, so the old guy, the old demon guy, that was in the square with the granddaughter or whatever. The old demon guy clearly had the magical blood, and he passed it on to because he worshipped at the temple of the what do they call her, the bad blood something, or
Yeah.
the wicked blood or something like that. Like, clearly there are adherents to this religion. They're secret because they'd get murdered, obviously, based on
And I'll send him that.
apparently the next person to order stuff also gets a pin of my face. Oh, pin of my face. Come on, camera.
It's a collector's item. Oh, that's pretty good.
Are you
That's
ready
pretty
for
good.
creation?
Oh, yeah. Are we getting my
You
creation?
want to guess what it is?
What is it? Is it a perler bead thing? Because
Uh-huh.
I feel like it is. She was asking for me for an iron, so I feel like it has to be a
Do
perler
you
bead
know
thing.
what it is?
No. What did you make me? She made a parasect because they freak me out.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
Look at it's called dead eyes. That's because the bacteria has taken over its brain.
Oh my god. Oh
They
my
do
god.
freak me out. Okay, it's terrifying.
That is a pretty nice bonus. But yo, the pin, the Jess pin, you should have that be like VIP for something. Like you only make like 15 of them, and like anyone that walks in has free line skip. Like that should be like special privilege right
I made
there.
150 of them, so I already have too many for that. But
I mean,
pin of my
150
face.
is still pretty limited.
But back to Promised Neverland. So
yeah.
so you've got these at least some underground demons that have the magical blood powers and stuff, and Norman just kind of loses it because the little demon girl's name is Emma, and he can't deal with that. And I mean, for a
Strange.
hardened
I don't know why the demons will name each other like human names.
yeah.
So
I don't know. I don't get it either. But we didn't get a whole lot of Lambda backstory, even though we got some about Norman being in this thing and all these people were tortured. And based on what they showed in the anime, Norman actually didn't suffer nearly as much as those other people that were there. So the fact that he's quite so hardened and, a hardened criminal to be able to do this still doesn't really make a whole lot of sense in the anime, from the anime perspective. It makes more sense to me that those other people from Lambda are kind of mad because they all had like horrible experiments where the one guy, they cut his head open like twice, and they all have like terrible degenerative diseases or something, and they're kind of nuts. But Norman didn't have all of that. He like took a bunch of tests.
Yeah. So I mean, I guess that makes sense why he's the one that broke. That he's the one that broke line. But I don't know. So they're in a weird situation now because I have not read the manga, but they're in a weird situation where he's already dropped the gas. You can't just be like, yeah, sorry guys, my bad. Let's cancel this. What? 2,000 of you died? Yeah, that's my fault. Let's have peace now. So what? It's a move that once you do it, you can't really like backstep it.
Well, okay.
And so
I'm not going to give you any spoilers, but there's a lot of convoluted politics that you just don't know about yet. Like a lot of it within this whole world, and there's a lot of factions that have different priorities. So I don't know how much of that they're going to explore because they skipped giant chunks of the manga. Like, I feel like we knew a lot more about the Ratri family, who we just got introduced to in the anime. Like, it's another human adult male. That I feel like we learned about that prior, at least some in the manga, to where we're sort of at in the anime, like, on the same timeline. But I don't know. There's a lot there, so I don't.
But yeah, so Maybe I was thinking maybe this gas could be like the reference I made in my notes was maybe it's the weapon you only have to drop once. Um,
Yeah.
so maybe they don't have to do it anymore. I don't know how that's going to sit well with Norman's buddies, but I'm still enjoying the show. I'm still watching it. I understand for a manga reader that it might not be what you were expecting, but for I think anime only fans, the show is still pretty enjoyable. Since I guess you don't know what you're missing. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, as a manga reader, because I did read this whole manga, the amount of time between when they find Norman again was very disappointing, and I think it definitely took a lot of the impact out of the punch of seeing Norman alive again. That was there in the manga because it was a long time, and that's the thing I think that disappoints me the absolute most, other than them just cutting an entire chunk of stuff that leads to later storyline. But I don't know. I'm gonna keep watching it. I enjoyed the manga, so.
Yeah.
Oh, ReZero. You have a lot of explaining for me again this week. I feel like that's like
Do
half
I?
of the episodes of the show is you explaining stuff to me. Who is the
Let me see.
blonde woman? Who's the
The
blonde
blonde
woman?
woman? What blonde
Yeah,
woman?
the witch. She's got her finger on what's her face's back. She's in trial 3.
Oh yeah. So there's 7 witches, and I forgot her name, but she lives in the I don't know if they all live in the sanctuary, but whatever world that Echidna lives in, they all live together in that world as the dead witches. All of them are dead, except for Satala, the witch. You might not even have seen her yet. The white haired witch that is suggested to be Amelia's mom. So all of them live together. They're all dead except for Satala, and you can use the sanctuary in order to kind of like get a glimpse into their world. So she's just one of the witches that we got introduced like earlier in the season. She doesn't really seem that important until now. Right now it's kind of implying that she might be Amelia's mom. Like the way she was talking to Amelia, it
Yeah,
suggests
that's
that
why
she
I was like,
might actually have some type of relationship with Amelia. I think we all assume that Sathala was Amelia's mom simply because they look exactly alike. But the last few episodes that we've been watching, they've gone out of their way to mention that Amelia gets all her looks from her dad, which is why her aunt looks like her because it was her dad's
yeah,
sister.
yeah,
And so it would seem a little strange if both her father and mother has the silver hair and the eyes, but they go out of their way to say specifically you get your looks from your dad's side of the family. So if
yeah.
the blonde witch turns out to be Amelia's parent, that could be a pretty big plot twist. So yeah, we don't really have a lot of
Okay,
information, but
that was my main question because most of the rest of it I kind of followed. I'm aware of Rosewald's book and how important it is to him, and yeah, like Ram like sacrificing basically herself. And so, did we ever determine if that little sprite thing was an incarnation of Mother Fortuna? Because
I
was
don't
that
think so.
established?
So like it feels like they're trying to prop up just about every single character as being like a parental figure for Amelia, because they were saying Fortuna was like her mom, but not really like her adoptive mom, but really her aunt, and then they kept like implying that Puck might be like the reincarnation of her, but I don't think
Yeah,
so anymore. They're just going a lot of directions, and I feel like they're building up too many people. Like for someone that has no memories and no family connections. Like she sure has a lot of family connections. You know what I mean?
yeah, yeah.
Like if
I
anything,
don't
out of
know.
all the characters in the show so far, she has the biggest family. Like she has the most people that care about her. It's just she couldn't remember them.
Yeah.
But
Well, you made a note, and I also don't understand why she didn't recognize Ekinda or whatever
Echidna,
in the grave. Yeah,
I always
like
remember Echidna's name because her name is literally Echi DNA. I don't know. I don't know if that was intentional, but that literally is what her name breaks down to. Um,
gotcha.
but but So I think so. A friend of mine pointed out that over the last few episodes, whenever Echidna, um, yeah, so whenever Echidna was on screen, we couldn't see her face, and then also in this episode, when they show the little tomb, they show the clothes to let us know that it's Echidna, but we never saw the face of it. And so I think it might be trying to imply that Echidna might not actually look the way we think she looks. She might have just
Gotcha.
taken on that appearance whenever certain times come across. And so she might actually have a completely different look that might get revealed next episode when we realize that whoever was in the coffin. But a lot of weird things are happening because Amelia walked out that room and now it's all snowing outside.
Yeah.
And for people that were watching the series, the first half of the season, we know that that snowstorm is what brings the murder rabbits. There is a whole fleet of rabbits that literally just devours people whole. Like the rabbits literally just take small bites of you and they eat you completely. And Subaru almost lost his mind because he got attacked by 100 of them and they ate him in little tiny bites completely. And he
I was gonna
almost
say,
lost
is this
his mind.
Monty Python? Like, I feel like this is a Monty Python sketch. Okay, like.
So the murder rabbits are now back in play, which is pretty dangerous because they can even eat things that are bigger than their mouth. Like there was one point where Subaru like tried to reach out to them and his whole arm disappeared, and it's like, how? So they're pretty dangerous. So Amelia is in pretty big trouble right now if she runs into them. And then we also have stuff happening at the mansion.
Oh yeah, but Garfield and Elsa's weird kink where they're gonna bite each other. Yes, I definitely. Okay, sure. I want to bury myself in your entrails because they're warm and I'm starving. And she has this tragic backstory of abuse, and now they're gonna bite each other, and it's.
I don't know why that happened, but
Yeah.
it's
I'm gonna drop a
because
hippo on her.
it was interesting because Elsa was like, where I come from, it was always cold and we couldn't find heat. And I was like, oh, are you making a Frozen reference? Was it frozen in your old home? Oh, and she's like, oh, I kill people because I can feel the warmth of their body heat.
She's cutting them open like tauntauns and sleeping in their corpses.
Yeah, lots of stuff. So I guess they called her a vampire, but I don't think I don't know if she's really a vampire. I don't know why he bit her.
Is her sister immortal too? Her sister seemed like she was more vulnerable. So I mean, what did she do to be immortal? You know, and her sister's not.
Real sisters. I don't know. That little girl is like that little girl is a villain from season 1 that we didn't even know was a villain until like a little while ago. Like it's so many weird things happening. Like that little girl is not, I don't think, related to her by blood. I think they're sisters, as in like, yeah, we travel together. I don't know.
Yeah.
A lot of stuff.
The end of this episode was very climactic because Rosewald's book got burned by Ram, which was exciting. That was a fun scene, and Rosewald definitely was not appreciative of that. And now it gave you the impression that Ram is dead, but yeah, I don't think Ram is dead either.
I don't think Ram's dead. Like, can you imagine if Garfield comes back into the sanctuary and be like, I left for one day and Ram is dead? Like, are you kidding me? Like,
he'd be so mad.
Oh my God. Garfield, like, I spent my whole life in this sanctuary holding it down. I leave for one day and Ram is dead.
It's ridiculous. I don't know. I enjoyed this episode though, even though I didn't know who the blonde chick was. I did need the explanation of who the blonde chick was because it seemed, impactful, and I didn't know. So
yeah,
Dr. Stone.
Dr. Stone.
Dr. Stone.
We did the. It wasn't quite Dragon Ball time, but that definitely was longer than 20 seconds.
Yeah, it was. Well, okay, so I find it really difficult in this show because it's a show that banks itself on logic and science. Sure does do a lot of stuff that does not make logical or scientific sense. some of the stuff, yeah, I get it. Like the whole, like the paper tank and things like that. All right. And the fake out, for, okay, I'm in. The idea that two individuals show up and are so terrifying with their sticks and weapons that they can beat a whole contingent of people from the science village does not make any sense, okay? They're human beings. It's not Dragon Ball. They don't have AoE attacks, okay? They're not like casting magic spells. They're human beings. Slice his Achilles tendon. I mean, come on. Dig a pit. Push him in it. What are you doing? It's dumb.
Yeah.
It's freaking dumb, okay?
I mean, they did move through that forest really fast. Like they really tailed it through that forest to the point where Hearing Guy couldn't even be like, wait a minute, they're coming. Oh crap, they're here. Oh crap, I'm dead. Or like Hearing Guy, he's in trouble. Someone needs to administer health. Someone needs to administer aid to this man, because that wasn't like, oh, it's a scratch. No, there was a lot of blood there, and everyone's like, oh, we got to continue with the plan. We can't have anyone dying. The person you made the agreement with to not kill anyone is lying in the streets dying. You need to help this man.
Yeah, I know. Well, and also Hearing Guy, like Okie, I forget what his name. Hearing Guy. We're gonna call him Hearing Guy.
Yeah.
Hearing Guy feels like the boss monster you fight in an RPG, and then he becomes part of your party. But when he becomes part of your party, he's not nearly as powerful as when you fought him in the RPG. That's what it feels like, okay? Like, where's your magical hearing now? Because Tsukasa and his henchmen are already here. Oh, I hear them coming. They're right here. Well, your hearing is terrible. Absolutely freaking terrible. They're monsters, and they're traipsing through the forest. What is wrong with your hearing now? Why were you so good like 2 episodes ago, and now you're crap, okay? Now you're absolutely
to his defense, he probably was paying attention to the battlefield, and not even he could have imagined that it can run through the whole forest in 5 minutes. But if someone is stomping through a forest that fast, you should be making some type of noise. Like, you cannot be like stealth through that forest. So I don't know.
Yep.
You should have heard
something. It just this show bothers. This is one of the main things that bothers me about the show, other than the stupid character design. I cannot deal with the character design.
I don't mind the character design. Look at those Looney Tunes eyes. Those big eyes right there. That's definitely ripped right out of Bugs Bunny.
I mean, the comedy stuff doesn't bother me. It's the women with eyes like on this side of their face that are looking in 2 different directions and stuff that bothers me. Okay, but yeah, no, I guess I'll keep watching this show because I guess we have to for this, but I still don't like this show, and this episode and the whole Tsukasa stuff is indicative of why I don't like this show, because it feels like they just throw out logic whenever they feel like it. Like, we're very logical. Now we're not. Nope. Throwing it out the window. It's super inconsistent.
Still more logical than Skate the Infinity, though. Still more scientific than Skate the Infinity.
Infinity never pretends to be super logical. They do a lot of hand wavy stuff, but none of it makes any sense. That's the thing. All of it is crap. Okay. Like, all of it. Like, none of it is makes sense, but at least it's consistent that none of it actually makes sense. This is trying to base the whole show on actual scientific principles. They even they talk about that constantly. And it's like,
I'm not mad at them.
Well, I am. So, all right.
Spin
the wheel.
Another one of Jess's terrible shows.
It was
another
so
week,
bad.
Another terrible show. It's like, oh my god! Like, what is the plot? Like, it's just like, it's like the writing is so really bad. And I watched the dub.
The dub is very problematic. Very problem. I did not watch the dub. I watched the subtitle version. But in the dub, they have very bad, sort of offensive accents. I'm going to be real.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I guess since you watched the sub, you can confirm, did the dub localize Prime Minister for president? Because they always kept calling her the president's daughter.
Like, they said president. Yeah. I want to say they had said president in the sub. So
yeah. Like, does Japan have presidents?
They weren't from Japan. They came from some other country. Like, she has a Japanese name. Yeah, no, it's a weird thing. Maybe he was originally from Japan and then he rose to power in another country. I don't know. Just don't look too far below the surface here because
I
this
didn't
is
look
not
far below the surface. They upripped their own carpets and showed me the flooring. They showed it to me. I didn't ask to see it. They showed me it.
I'm sorry in advance. I should have chosen something like Ninja Scroll instead. The reason I chose this show because this is the type of like movie that was like 1990s blockbuster anime rental fodder. And that's entirely why I chose it. Because I'm pretty sure the last time I watched this, I was like 17 years old in my bedroom in high school, like had rented it from a blockbuster because they had like 10 anime titles and I'd seen all of them already. And so, but it's got like the excessive detail 80s artwork. Like the screenshot does not do it justice because when they zoom in on like the bad guy's face, you can see every detail of every freaking wrinkle on his entire face. And it's like you didn't have to go so hard, but you did. No, the animation was pretty good. This was a movie. It was kind of boring.
I don't know why they like so it starts off with this old man spirit talking to the main character and be like, hey, like your dad fought the demon lord or whatever's going on. Your dad fought and died, and like you're the one that I'm counting on to like I don't want to count on you, but there's nobody else right now, so I need you to like fight him and kill him. But I don't think you're going to win because you're stuck right now. I don't think you're going to win, so I'm going to help you out. I'm going to help you out. We're both going to fight him together, but I can't actually fight because I have to be over here and guard the president.
I got to take care of this other guy. Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm not actually going to fight you, but we collectively, in figurative speech, we're going to fight them together. And so, yeah, go ahead and please do this. And the main character's like, no, you literally told me I'm about to die. Like, no.
Yep.
Like,
nope. I'm not going to do it.
Whatever, and man. I'm just a normal guy.
I want to save the world, and we got to save my dad, and he's going to die, and we got to go and do this and kill this guy. And he's like, nope. And then he winds up doing it because she just wanders in. She wanders in with no weapons and no training. And it's like, and it's really weird because her whole purpose in this movie is to hug it out. It's to hug it out with everybody along the way. I'm going to hug it out with the dog who's about to bite me, and then he loves me.
Yeah.
And I'm going to hug it out, man. And I'm going to hug it out with you so you get enough power so that you can come back and kill the guy. And yeah.
And she was so confident, right? She was so confident, like, yeah, like I might not have like training or anything, but I have this ring that can shoot a laser at it out of it. And so like if you like you try to mess with me, like I'm gonna get this laser ring on you. And then like she sells it. She's like, I don't got any cash. So here's my last line of defense. I'm literally helpless now. Literally helpless now. And I'm like, why though? And the main character's still walking around with a wooden sword. Like
yep. He just
old man.
And then it breaks.
Old man.
And he's like, what am I going to do? And then he falls down. And coincidentally, the spirit of his father was infused in the sword that he just coincidentally got to and touched and charged up. And then, like, the final battle is the most anticlimactic thing in the universe because he just comes back up and he's like, shwick, falls apart into.
Yeah, it's like, so dumb.
It was just it. It was super dumb.
It's so
dumb. It was super dumb. Oh my god.
Heaven's Design Team.
Go ahead.
I want to make note that we learned in Heaven's Design Team 3 weeks ago that adding a second head to a dog might look cool, but it has no practical purpose. So when he was like, yeah, here's these genetically engineered guard dogs that like the government has been making, and I just happened to find one as a puppy, and I'm like, there's no reason to fuse two dogs together like that. It serves no purpose. It's inconvenient to the dog, and if anything, it weakens. It's less effective than having two dogs.
Yep, it is. You're right. This was a ridiculous movie. I feel like we just should have watched something better. I was trying to get kind of in that like 80s vein of weird pseudo cyberpunk hyper violent anime, and this did not do it for me. I'm probably gonna watch Ninja Scroll separately again, even though Like it's definitely a very different movie. That one has a snake that comes out of a lady's hoo-ha, and I'm just saying it's a thing. All right, be warned. Don't watch that with your kids. Like,
one thing that I want to bring up for our wheel segment is that Discotheque Media has recently licensed our show from last week, Dear Brother. So maybe Discotheque is watching our streams. Maybe they're going to if Discotheque licensed Demon City Shinjuku next week, we know that we have a connection with them, and just pass on whatever old show you want Discotheque to license. Just tell us in the comments. We'll review it, and then we'll pass it on.
I feel like they were already in process with Dear Brother before we came along.
No. They watched our stream, and it was like, let's pick up this license real quick. How fast can we get it? How fast can we get it? Streams at 9, guys.
Oh my god. All right, so left on the list, there's 3 of Erik's titles and 2 of mine. I will say both of mine are bad, but they're bad for different reasons. One of them is pretty fun. The other one is the worst anime I've ever seen in my life. So, yeah. You got to be better at this. Next season, Erik, I need you to pick some terrible and fantastic things.
I picked hidden gems. I picked shows that I wouldn't mind watching over.
Okay.
What's it gonna be? 20.
It was
running out of shows. See, we need to have a digital wheel that you just switch to on the center screen. We need to swap that over.
1, 2, 3, 4. Somali and the Forest Spirit.
Oh, wow. This is a great show. Oh my god. What a gem. What a gem. Oh my god. Somali and the Forest Spirit. It's one of the best shows from 2020. It's one of the best shows in 2020, and it's one of the best father-daughter relationship shows. So you don't have to worry about it turning its soggy drop at the end.
Yeah, I was gonna say, are we worried about a soggy drop? Because that's what I was gonna say.
Yes.
Does it turn into a soggy drop?
No, it does not. It does not. All right, so I'm happy to watch episode 1 and 2 of that.
All right, Somali and the Forest Spirit is our next one. Then we'll have 2 of Erik's and 2 of mine left, and mine are stinkers. I can't wait.
Oh my god, why would you do such a thing?
Because I want to torture you. Next season I'm not gonna do stinkers, but I am gonna make it varied. Like I'm gonna put like my favorite shows on there, and then maybe I'll have like 1 or 2 really bad stinkers too. I don't know. A lot of the anime I hate are just boring, and I don't want to make us watch something boring. I want to make us watch something actively bad, okay? And one of these is definitely very actively bad. So, what? Please join us next week. We'll be on Thursday at 7 p.m. Eastern, as usual. And we're barreling toward the end of the season. Cannot wait for the end of the season. Maybe we'll have ice cream cake at the end of the season. I'm just saying, it'll be a party up in here.
Yeah. One thing I saw in the comments, it's funny that out of all the shows he picked up, we didn't pick up the hot show right now, which is Jujutsu Kaisen. That's the show that everyone is talking about, and it's like number 1. And it's like of all the shows, we didn't pick that one up.
Yeah, I'm actually reading the manga for that. I haven't watched any of the anime, but I'm current on the manga for it. So
yeah, I gotta watch the anime as well.
Everybody kind of didn't like Black Clover, but I actually really like the manga for Black Clover. I'm like super into it. I'm caught up on that too. I've read tons and tons of manga.
I watched episode 1 and 2 of Black Clover, and I was like, I'd rather die.
Well, let me give you a hint. Maybe you should read the manga instead, because I actually really enjoy the manga.
Okay.
But but yeah. Oh, Darius, I'm sure you have some delightfully bad. What was?
No, we don't need more old bad shows.
Oh, we could watch Odin's Space Sailor Starlight, and we could watch Johnny Sacco and Flying Robots, which is a live-action version of Gigantor or something like that.
No, I'm gonna quit. I want to quit. I want to quit.
Yeah. That stuff's crazy. Garzy's Wing. Garzy's Wing is one of the worst dubs ever made. And that one's pretty great. Don't worry. Oh, Apocalypse Zero. Oh, see, I knew Darius knows the good stuff.
Yeah. This will be the last season we do this. Erik quits.
Oh my god.
Season 2. Erik is a lot like Winston.
Recast Erik as somebody that looks nobody like Erik for season 2 of Anime Book Club.
It'll be like the what is it, State Farm commercial where they recast the guy.
Erik, we're gonna get a different Aunt Vivian for you, okay?
Oh my gosh, shut up.
All right, we will see you next Thursday. And can't wait till then. Bye, everybody.
All right.
Bye.
See ya.